Good evening. Yeah, okay. So just gonna put a message in the chat and pin it. Let's see, how do I pin that? There we go. Maybe that'll help people know what the heck I'm doing. Alright, now I need to go to Discord. Let's see. Let people know that I'm here. Doing some housekeeping. Alright. Okay, I think that's oh, I probably should also, let's see, set myself to do not disturb in Discord. Alright. See where we left off here. Hello, Suhas. How are you doing? Having yourself a good, well, I guess it's already Tuesday for you, huh? I guess I should ask, did you have a good Monday? That's good, man. I'm glad it was okay, you know? I mean, better okay than fucking horrible. I know that's setting a pretty low bar, but I'm good, man. I'm good. I had a good birthday. Didn't really do like a ton super exciting, just kind of took the day off work, hung out with my wife. We went and ate some ramen, took a nap, lifted some weights, talked to my kids, drank some coffee, you know? All the things I like to do. So yeah, it was a solid 32-year-old birthday. Alright, so we did this last time on stream. Let's see. And now, this is the next thing I need to do. So I basically need to add a check here. That says, well, I basically need to switch on So what I need to do is I need to, instead of setting the field ID here, I need to say field. And then, let's see, I need to do field equals field. Can I even do that? No, that's not gonna work. What do I want to say, like target field? Yeah, let's just say target field. I don't know. Say target field, and then this will be target field dot ID, like that. And if target field is undefined, we should throw. Actually, I'm going to make this null. So this can be field or it can be null. So if target field equals null, we have a serious problem. Delu, what's up, man? How are you? How would I say this? Spleef, maybe? Spleef? How are you, Spleef? I see you said hi. Hope you guys are doing well. Oh yeah, Suos, it is definitely a good life, man. Soup. I had ramen today. It was pretty. We had fancy ramen, not like not like ramen noodles, from the grocery store, but we had tonkatsu ramen. It was very good. Spleef is your name? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, nice. Well, good to have you here, Spleef. Good to have you back, actually, because I think I'm pretty sure I've seen you in a previous stream at least once. So I don't need the ID, so I can actually say, what can I do? I can actually say const field of object dot values. Tolu, have you seen my Windows desktop screenshot in the memes channel? I may have missed it. I can go look at it right now. Let me see. Oh, I did. Yeah, the anatomy picture. Yeah, what's the story behind that? Why have anatomy stuff as your desktop background? I mean, it's funny in that it's random. You know what I mean? Like you'd expect that you would expect that from somebody who's like studying physiology and anatomy, not from somebody who's into tech. Super random. But fun nonetheless. I mean, what's the point if you can't have fun, right? Okay, so there are some rules about how this. Oh, you love machines, electronic. Oh, nice, very cool. So you're interested in anatomy and physiology. biochemistry, all that stuff's up your wheelhouse, huh? I'd sign myself up in that category too. I don't know if it's necessarily has anything to do about machines though, you know. Suha says, "Bro, I want your reaction to this video and your advice. Your advice, please. Only if you are free." Sure, man. I'm happy to. Yeah, that's what we're here for, right? I mean, why stream if you're not gonna hang out and interact, you know? Totally. I want to know everything there is available. Yeah, I kind of feel you, but it's also like super overwhelming. Suhas, it's about 14 minutes. Well, like we can just listen to it on 2x, and then it'll only be 7 minutes. Or we can listen to it on 3x, and then it'll only be, I don't know, what is that? 14 divided by 3 is roughly 4.5 minutes or something like that. Spleef, I love coding. I would be coding, but I broke my arm. Oh, dude, that sucks. That really, really sucks. Okay. Well, let me copy the link here. Paste it up there. Or we can speed it up 84 times and it'll be 10 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, this is a possibility. Although I doubt I'd catch any of it, right? No, we can take a listen. Let's see. It's a year old or so. Yeah, we can take a look at it. Give me 1 second to finish this. Give me 1 sec to finish this thought, and then we can switch straight over to that. Just give me 1 sec. Let's see. When using a string value in a filter expression, you must use single quotes to limit the string value. When using a date value in a filter expression, you must use single quotes. Okay, so basically, okay, so the first thing we need to say is if rule.value is null, then we just return this. Otherwise, we're gonna switch on this, which I think this is an enum. Yeah, this is an enum. So we'll say field. It's field type dot date. We're gonna do something a little different. We're going to return date time. Yeah. Whoops. No. Close. This is close. Rule.value. It's going to be this, but we need to stick in front of it date time. I think it's how it's supposed to be formatted. To delimit the date value and the delimited value, and the delimited value should be preceded by the word date time. Let's see. I can find an example here real quick. Hold on 1 sec. Yeah, so it should look like this. Okay, and then we're gonna want like a default case. In the default case, it's just gonna be what we're already doing down here. Oh, I don't need a break statement since I'm returning. Duh. And we've got some. Hold on. Let me add a quick note right here. Handle other field types. All right, so let's switch contexts and let's take a look at Suhas's video that he sent me. What do you guys think of the line counter, huh? Is the line counter keep or get rid of? Not useful, not helpful. I kind of like it. It's kind of a cool idea. All right. It's fun and unique. Okay, cool. We'll keep it. We'll keep it as long as people are cool with it. Okay, I'm going to set this to 2x. So if you don't like the 2x, I apologize, but this will cut down on the amount of time we spend listening. We can spend more time talking about it. So I'm guessing just, actually, I don't know if I'll be able to comprehend it at 2x. Maybe I'll just do 1.5.
Focusing on fast, technical videos. All good teams are alike. Each bad team is bad in its own way. Software is an incredible thing, isn't it? Combined with the internet, a small team of friends can change the world overnight. Every company, no matter what their industry, must now run a tech team.
Let me turn the music off real quick. Because that was a little overstimulating.
Even if only to maintain their website. So why are they all so bad at it? Everything you see in this video, script, links, and images are part of a plain text markdown document available freely on GitHub under a public domain license. If you've worked in a web team, tech team, or any digital creative team, you've likely felt the pain. Bad software, constantly changing processes, and lots of meetings. I discussed some of these problems in my Agile video that made me a lot of friends, but today I want to go bigger. You can solve all these problems in a single blow. The secret is, in order to do more, you must have the discipline to do less. A lot of the idea.
I like that. I mean, I like that right off the bat. In order to do more, you have to do less. That's something actually. There's an old Eric Cressy, back from my days in fitness. There's a gentleman by the name of, I think it's Eric Cressy that wrote this. He is now the strength conditioning coach for the Yankees, I think now. And he still has a private facility. I think it's called "You Can't Keep Adding." Yeah. It's a really good article, but it's kind of along the same lines, right? Like, I think just generally that's a truism of that. Like, you can't just keep trying to do more and more and more and more and just piling on, right? You know, the best type of programs are a lot of times unbalanced because you're trying to drive adaptation in a particular way. And so I kind of feel the same way about work, is like work by its nature needs to be a little bit unbalanced if you're going to make progress towards things. Because like by nature, most people are resource constrained, right? You can't do everything all the time.
Is that I mentioned are not new. They've been understood in the startup and digital world for a long time, but regression to the mean is prevalent.
Oh, that's not a bad idea, Tulu. Suhas, would that bother you instead of listening through it all? Oh, Tulu, that's interesting. Let's see. If a teenager wants to press, they found a message. Oh, that's interesting. You've enlightened, Tulu, this 32-year-old dad. Thank you. Thank you for cluing me in. I had no idea about that. Yeah. So you mind if I try to use Gemini to summarize this? Let's see. That might be a fun use of time. Let's see. Can you actually hold on? Let's use Pro. Hold on. Why is this drop down not going away? Is that a bug? That was weird. Okay. So, can you give me a summary of this YouTube video? I honestly don't know if Gemini can access it, but I'm guessing it can. let's see, share. Not that I don't want to watch it. It's just, for the sake of time. Let's see. The video discusses how teams can enhance their workflow using plain text tools and the Ulysses pack. The Ulysses pack is explained as a strategy to prevent poor future. Oh, we can also turn the music back on too. Let's see. The Ulysses pack is explained as a strategy to prevent poor future decisions by creating a framework to manage one's future self. Let's see. Git and GitHub are recommended for managing projects. Okay. GitHub's features like wikis, facility Markdown is advocated for text formatting. Let's see. The importance of stand-up meetings and pull requests for team coordination is mentioned. The presenter concludes that using plain text and Git to lead more efficient and organized team. I mean, this right here, I've got no bones with this. I've got no bones with this conclusion. I think for the vast majority of things, you don't need MS Project, you don't need Jira, you don't need 101 tools to accomplish something that you could accomplish with Notepad and some Markdown maybe. This one is one that I'm not sure I agree with, the importance of stand-up meetings. Maybe it makes more sense in like an agile context. I'm not a fan of stand-up meetings myself personally. But maybe if I worked in a different setting, that might be different. I think pull requests are important, although there does seem to be like a very big push for people to say like pull requests are useless. Like you should be doing trunk-based development and everyone's pushing to main all the time and don't worry about pull requests. Pull requests are only needed for like low trust environments. I'm not sure I necessarily agree with that. But yeah, I think if this is the totality of that conclusion, assuming Gemini hasn't lied to me, yeah, I think Suasa, I would agree with you. Talua, Markdown is a markup language. That is a funny line. But yeah, I think at a high level, Suasa, I think I'm here. Suas, more standard billions are bad because they don't talk about the project, they talk about their life. He did not say that he values pull requests. Oh, interesting. So Gemini just lied, huh? Let's see what the timestamp it cites is. Let's one sec. Need to add that short key like Suhas said. Skip.
Even if they give no value and complicate your process. If you have one meeting a day, it should be a stand-up. Good stand-ups replace other meetings and accelerate your project dramatically. The way I like to do stand-ups is not by asking everyone what they did. No complex statistics is together and observe their progress through your current iteration. This represents the information radiator for your team, a bird's eye view of what is happening with the project, and something you might gather around for your morning catch-up meeting. You don't need all the features of Trello, Jira, or anything like that. You need the minimum viable board.
Yeah, I mean, I think I could kind of agree with that.
Tool, city points and so on, aid your process. If you have one meeting a day, it should be a stand-up.
I don't know about stand-ups though. I'm just, yeah, I don't know. I think I guess depending on the environment you're working in, I think stand-ups are kind of overkill. I think like a weekly direction setting meeting on like Monday that basically is like, here's what we're gonna try to accomplish this week. And then a retrospective on Friday to basically say what did we accomplish, what issues did we encounter is probably more useful in most scenarios, in my opinion. That's been my experience both in tech and in my prior lives. But I know some people might disagree. I'm gonna add this to my watch list though, so I can give it a proper. How do I do that? Hold on one sec. Save. Watch later. So I can give it a proper watch, Suhas. Thanks, Alex. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate the happy birthday wish, dude. It's been a good birthday, man. And I decided I would spend the rest of it doing a little bit of coding, a little bit of streaming, a little bit of talking to you all. So go 29 lines, Shane. Slow down. Yeah, true that, man. True that. Yeah, yeah. Oh, Baloo sent me a link that summarizes that video too. App.youtube summarize. I've never heard of this. This is kind of interesting. Communication through documentation. Yeah, dude, this one right here. Big believer in this guy. Cannot tell you how much I hate documentation that happens via communication in Slack messages or even worse over like a Teams call. Can't stand it. It's like, oh yeah, I talked to him about that yesterday. We decided to change that. Great, thanks for letting the rest of us know. I like this too. Most project management systems are just too overblown. This is probably the one thing I think I would have like a I don't necessarily agree with you. But yeah, man, I think in totality sounds like I would probably be more in agreement with most of that content, Suos, than disagree with it. Oh, thanks, Sogo. I appreciate you. Appreciate the happy birthday wishes, man. It's very kind. Oh yeah, to your summarization link, that app dot YouTube summarize, where that was a much better summary I think than Gemini. Like just raw Gemini. I mean, I didn't really prompt Gemini that well, but I think it was better than what Gemini gave me. Oh, it's way too quiet. Way too quiet. Okay. Let's go back over here, huh? All right. So now what we're gonna do is we need to special case field type numbers. In which case, then we just return that. We don't wrap it in single quotes. And then the last one. Oh no, if it's number. Actually, if it's case field type dot auto number, same story. And then we need case field type dot so this system that I'm talking to allows people to create formulas, and then formulas can have return types. In which case, if it is a formula, let's see, if it is a formula, then I have to check some other things. So if it is a formula, like and target field, let's see, and target field as formula field dot output type equals output type dot numeric. Can I do this? It's not gonna allow to do this. Oh yeah, because we're switching on field type. Damn. That's not gonna work. Let's see, field type, not formula. And then we're gonna need to do some special handling. I hate polymorphic stuff. It's just so, it makes everything so messy. God, so painful. Unix UX, what's up, Unix UX? How are you? Let's see. Suhas, shot cut. I don't know what you're talking about, Suhas. Oh, for the music? Yeah, for sure. If I remember correctly, the website linked first speech to text, the video then summarizes the text. So that's probably why it's so much better. Yeah, I have no idea what Gemini does either, but it just that alone seems like it would produce better results. Nermit Gavante. Hello, Nermit. Steven is Taurus. I am a Taurus. Yes, I am. Unique UX. You're a Taurus too? Nice. Very cool, dude. Yeah. Astrological signs unite. Okay, so then basically here we have to switch on the output type. So now we have nested switch statements. Numeric, date and time. This is not a possibility. And the other two, this should just be the default case. Let's see, and then I'm just going to make a couple little helper functions here. So we're going to say function format date rule. And then we're going to have another one that's called function format number rule. Format text rule. This is going to be return Oh god. Oh my goodness, I've done that 3 times now. That's sending me. Why can't Copilot autocomplete that? I'm so confused by... This is just uglier than hell. So I'm gonna make another function called format formula formula field rule. There we go. I can tolerate that a little bit better. All right, now I need to write some tests for all this stuff. Yeah, the tab finger is indeed trigger happy. Yes, indeed. Boston Sports Cards. Hey, what's up, Boston? How are you, man? It's been a minute. Yeah, my stream schedule's been kind of working against you, huh? I apologize for that. Suas, we should distract him. He's doing 60 lines. Yeah, it's actually a pretty productive night, isn't it? It's because we added the counter. So now I have like feedback in my... I'm very metric-oriented individual, so if you start tracking my progress with a number, it's likely I'm going to start pursuing the number. Gemini is not very creative, but I found it has the least errors when vibe coding. Oh, that's interesting. I've not tried Gemini to do much coding with it. So maybe I'll give that a try sometime. It seems like most of the time I usually end up asking ChatGPT or Claude these days. That's what I reach for most often. Unique UX. The counter's awesome. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Actually, I can't take all the credit. Let's see. Last night that was Code Brew CS is the name of the guy who was like, you should totally have a line counter. And then Talua sent me a POC of it. Basically, he basically showed me like, okay, this is how you would roughly do this with OBS and a bat file. And he had actually wrote some custom code to calculate the line differences, and I just did the lazy thing and used Git to come up with the line changes. But yeah, it's kind of pretty cool. It's just running on a loop. And when I start the program, it catches. So like it'll actually, if I commit this stuff, it should move from uncommitted to committed here. And maybe that text actually should be swapped. Maybe it should be uncommitted and then committed. But in any event, if I do get status, and then I do get add, get commit, format rule according to filtered field type, it should, the next time the little script runs, it should move those numbers over to the committed column. So yeah, I can't take all the credit, honestly. It was a group effort there, you know. Suas, I like Gemini. It's cheap. Oh, is it really? Compared to other models providers? I haven't actually looked. I haven't used it much, so I don't know. But that's interesting to hear, because using it. It seems like it's pretty high quality in its responses. So that's interesting that it's actually pretty cheap. Suhas, what do you think about review staining? Like the Primogen. What's review staining, Suas? I'm not familiar with that. Suas, cheap and the best Gemini. Okay, cool. So maybe I need to spend some more time working with using Gemini as kind of my main AI chat app. Unique UX. You guys made quick work of that. Yeah, I mean, Talua did it in like 20 minutes. It took me like an hour to sit down and figure out how to use PowerShell to parse the output of Git, but I got there. Suas, reviewing TDS. I'm not. What? Stop. Hey, Suas, stop speaking in acronyms. What is TDS? Suas, I should learn English. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Primogen, so likely whatever he's doing, I'd be like, sure. Let's do that. He's much more high energy than I am, though. You know, like like watching him code that tower defense game with his friends. I can tell right now that he would have no tolerance for the way I use NeoVim. Like he would be screaming at me, "You idiot! Stop typing so slowly." He'd want to rip the keyboard out of my hands. Also, Suas, I think your English is very good. So I don't know if you need that much more work on it, man. I wouldn't beat yourself up too hard. Unique UX Trump derangement syndrome. Nice. Yeah, that's a very real thing right now in the United States, for sure. There is some serious derangement going on. Suhas works for CCP. I hope not. I hope not. Talua, is stock market manipulation legal? It's not legal. And you know what's funny? That was the first thought that crossed my mind when he announced the tariffs. Was I thought, I wonder if there's any shady shit going on behind the scenes with this. And turns out there may really have been some shady shit going on. Yes, I mean, Suas, I know this. Talua, it's time to buy. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Most of my investing is done into index funds. So if you guys have ever heard of The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins, that's pretty much how I approach my finances, particularly my investing. So most of it's in either VTI or VTSAX. And yeah, I mean, if you just look at this, right, like it's a pretty sad 6 months, even a sad year. But if you go to the max, you know, big picture, it's up and to the right. You know what I mean? Up and to the right. So just keep buying. Like I was born in let's see. Let's look at the S&P. I think the S&P goes back further, doesn't it? S&P 500. It goes back to 96. So what about Dow Jones? How far does back to this Dow Jones go? I mean, I was born in 93. Like, if my parents had bought me, you know, $10,000, oh man, we'd have made out like bandits. It's pretty wild though, right? I mean, it's 3x'd. Maybe not $10,000, maybe like $1,000 every month since I was born until I was 18. I would have made out pretty good. It's pretty powerful though when you look at it from this perspective. Look at that, all time. It's up 2,000%, 3,000%. That's wild. It's absolutely wild. I invest in African pirates. Nice, dude. If the CCP pays me enough, I might join. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if the price is right. Talua, Vanguard and BlackRock owns us. Yes, Vanguard very much so. Yes. Unique UX 1991. Yeah, I mean, just think if you could go back and put $1,000 into the market every month since you were born. You know, if you were born in 91, you'd have 34 years roughly of earnings. and compounding. Yeah, pretty wild. Tallulah, if don't think like that. If you look at it that way, you could have bought Bitcoin. Yes, actually, you're right. That's actually what would have been a better decision. To go back in time and not invest in the stock market, just buy a bunch of Bitcoin. You know what's funny is I had a personal training client like in 2012, 2013. His name was David Clymer. He was a small business owner. But for like a year straight, he would come to every session and he would just rattle on about Bitcoin. And I paid him no mind. I should have listened. Looking back now. Should have listened. My brother bought Bitcoin, which is even worse. He didn't say a word to me about it. You're like, nice, bro. Way to share the wealth. God dang. What even is this number that you put in the chat? Hold on. I gotta separate this with some underscores to make sense of it. What is that? That's over 100 million. Excuse me, 100 million X return. Holy moly. That's unbelievable. Yeah, my brain can't even really wrap my head around a return that big, honestly. That's absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. What's up, JJ Davis? How you doing? How's life treating you? Sogo, so you made 3x. That's not bad. I mean, that's not bad at all, Sogo. Necessity is the mother of invention, and clarity always comes in retrospect. Yep, you're 100% right. I always think of Unique UX. I always think about that Steve Jobs quote about how you can never connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backwards, right? That's how life feels a lot of times. We did not have a chance, Tallulah. JJ Davis, doing good, bro. It's treating me good. Just DoorDash some food here. Nice, dude. I mean, DoorDashing is a little pricey, but no, I get it. When you're hungry and you don't want to get in the car, the convenience of a DoorDash meal is pretty good. It can make you feel like a very wealthy man to be able to DoorDash some food. Nice. Mickey D's. What's your order at Mickey D's? Mine used to be, growing up, like in high school and stuff, it used to be like a $1 menu McChicken. No mayo. Now they don't even have a $1 menu now, do they? Got the munchies. Yeah, it happens. You know. What are you gonna do? Suhas, bro, what is your net worth? It's positive. I'll tell you that. I don't know the exact number, but I do know it's positive now. We've worked very hard over the last 5 years to dig ourselves out from negative. And we've been lucky to be able to do that, you know. I mean, we live a privileged life. We're lucky to have good jobs and have not been affected by bad economic outcomes. But yeah, definitely been lucky in that front the last 4 or 5 years. Got 2 McChickens with a Sprite. Nice. Yeah, you can't beat a McChicken, man. It's just like, it's so simple, right? But it's so good. Tallulah. Yeah, I mean I'm okay talking about money, but I hate to put something like that on blast on stream, you know. Happy to always talk about that stuff with like more details with friends and family, but on the interwebs, you know. Probably makes sense to play your cards closer to your chest on that stuff. Unique UX, what do you guys think about Trash Dash as a service to compete with government and potentially create competing markets with a focus on recycling system for cheaper pickup? So, Unique UX, by Trash Dash, do you mean DoorDash, but people that come and pick up your trash instead? Like a gig economy for waste removal services? Is that what you're talking about? Oh yeah, you describe it right here. We pick up your trash with redneck Uber drivers. That's the slogan. Well, I tell you what, we where we live in kind of like it's like an apartment complex type of thing, and we always have cases where people will like move, and they leave all the junk that they didn't want to take with them. They kind of leave it like by the dumpster area, and then we end up having to call our landlord to have them come pick it up. So. And it's I think she pays like a couple $100 probably to have them come pick it up. So there's probably a market for that type of thing out there. Aeon ear pro tip: Control Alt Delete doesn't delete everything. What are you referencing? I'm not sure what you're referencing. GG VG delete. I'm pretty sure that would remove everything, wouldn't it? Let's see. Suha says Grandpa is a self-made multi-millionaire. My dad is a self-made multi-millionaire. A lot of pressure on me. Dang, dude. You're set, Suhas. I mean, shit. What else you got to do, man? I guess unless your grandpa and your dad aren't sharing any of that generational wealth with you, then not so good for you. But yeah, sounds like your family has done very well for themselves. That's awesome. Tallulah, just make them give you the millions. Yeah, exactly. Just, yo, Dad, throw me one of the millions you got. I mean, if you think about it, right? $1 million. You take $1 million, you stick it in S&P 500 conservative. Let's say conservatively, you only live on a 3% return, and the market on average is probably going to return 8%. You know, on average, right? You're going to have up years and down years. But let's say conservatively, you live on a 3% withdrawal rate. That's 30 grand a year. That's quite a lot of money for one person to live on, you know, if you're smart with it. Suhas, press the X in the top right hand corner for quick code debugging. Yeah, what are you guys all trying to bait me into losing all my progress? Is that what's happening here? We need a meme about Copilot and the itchy tab finger. Yes, the tab. Sometimes, I don't know, man. Sometimes it just really frustrates me when the autocomplete is really bad and I accidentally tab it. I don't understand this. For a millionaire, a million is less than 1,000th of his money. If I was a billionaire and Steven asked for $1 million, I'd just give it to him. Yeah, I mean, Tolu, that's something actually I've probably changed my tune more and more on over the years. Like this difference of like billionaires versus millionaires. Like, I do think there is some level of credence to the idea that like if you're a multi-millionaire, like you've won capitalism, and we should just let you keep $1 billion and then tax everything above that 100%. Right? I mean, when you think of it, because $1 billion, what's like, yeah, like 1 million seconds is 11 days. Yeah, 1 million seconds is 11 days, and 1 billion seconds is 33 years, 31 years. So like the scale there just doesn't make sense. What are you saying? I gotta deal with trolls in chat, and I gotta deal with a troll in my living room. Is that what's happening right now? My wife's trolling me. Toad Sage, yo, I think you were shifted your time of streaming permanently. Yeah, probably not, Toad Sage. Because normally what I would be doing right now is I'd be making like concrete, actual progress on these projects of mine instead of spending 75% of my coding time talking. So I've got these like competing demands of like I want to make content, but I also actually want to build stuff, and like they seem to not always support each other. So tomorrow we will be back to regular scheduled programming, hopefully. Suhas, no, that will incentivize people to not earn more money. I don't know, man. I mean, just think of that. Like $100 billion is a lot of money for one person to have amassed to themselves, right? I mean, it's more money than anyone could ever spend in a lifetime or need in a lifetime. Like, I think there could be some level of credence to like maybe we don't tax it at 100%. Maybe we tax it at like 95%. Anything over $1 billion. I don't know, man. It just seems like a lot of money for one person. You know, kind of like what Talua said, right? If you have $1 billion, $100 billion, you know, $1 million is like losing $10 to the average person, right? That's just crazy. I'm gonna get branded as a socialist before long if I don't shut up. But I don't know. It's hard to wrap my head around these things. Yeah, Tulu. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Tulu. I just think there's some logic there. There's some level of wealth creation that just seems unnecessary after a certain point. So go extra trolling for your birthday. Nice. I appreciate you, man. Toad Sage, 11:38 for me, also perfect. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. It's difficult. It's like balancing all the demands, all the things you want to get done, all the things you want to do. Unique UX. This channel is good, bro. You are super laid back, really good at checking in with people. You should go live with small projects, maybe. I would like to see some small examples of projects with AI. Yeah, I think that'd be cool, for sure. I'd like to do some stuff with like fine-tuning models. Like I'd like to do some research and some POCing, proof of concepts around that type of stuff. So definitely can incorporate it. I just need to, some of these smaller projects like this MCP server, I need to make bigger progress in shorter amounts of time and kind of move them off my plate instead of letting them drag on, for like weeks at a time, which is kind of the battle I'm in right now. So I'll try to get that through Congress. Yeah, good luck. Yeah, as long as Citizens United is a thing in the United States, We will pry the dollars out of their cold, dead hands, basically. You know? I mean, it's just going to be impossible. When businesses can contribute like an individual, it's probably just not going to happen in my lifetime. Sogo, I agree. Steven is a good guy, really down to earth. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Sogo. I'm glad it comes across that way. Maybe he will look at a Discord bot. I would love to do a Discord bot. That's definitely one of those projects that's on the list. Suhas, what's wrong with socialism? Oh, nothing's wrong with socialism, Suhas. I just... that's not an accurate reflection of my political ideals, you know, so I would hate for people to take away from this single conversation that, you know, Steven the socialist. Suhas, if someone is very rich, they can invest in more advanced stuff. Yeah, I agree with that, Suhas, to a point. I just wonder if we actually see that level of investment back in. I mean, maybe it does. Maybe it is invested back in. I just don't know the metrics and the statistics around it, but I don't know. Tolua said 1 billion means you can spend 1 million monthly for 83 years. That's wild. Yeah, that's wild. Most people's wealth is mostly in stocks or land. And that's a good point, Suha. So taxing it, kind of, when I say you should be able to tax it, that's kind of a naive approach, right? Because for vast number of these billionaires, they're not really liquid. They don't have $100 billion in liquidity. Yeah. My wealth is in pirate goods. Yeah. That's because you're investing in the pirates, right? I mean, that's pretty wild. This actually, I think this field type reference, I think I need to add that as a case. Let's see, the field type. I think I need to add this here. Case field type dot reference. Needs to be formatted as a number. And now all my tests should be broken. Let's see. Not all of them, but some of them. So let's see. Role is a list. So it should really be this. Let's see that. And this is actually not gonna. This is gonna be more like a. Well, that doesn't really matter. There we go. Okay, I think I'm at a point now with this where I probably need to start thinking about actually doing some testing. Let's see, server. Let's see, query records. Oh, goodness. Query records. I don't think I actually implemented this yet. Did I implement this? Yeah, I did. Okay, let's see if we can, let's see if we can actually get Claude to query my data properly. Yoip. Elon Musk collects no money from his company. Well, that's pretty crazy, if that's true. I honestly don't know, so I take your word for it. Can you do a video or stream on how you got the commit info on stream? Yeah, I think that'd be fun, for sure. It's at the very simplest. It's a PowerShell file that executes Git commands, parses that Git command, writes it to a text file, and then there's a source in OBS that points at that text file. And so then I just run the script, and the script runs every like 10 seconds and updates the content of that file that's sourced in OBS. But for sure, I can make a video. That's on my list of things to do, is to make a video of it, because I thought it was such a cool idea. So yeah, I probably will make a video on it for sure. Suhas, do you ever want to start your own company or something? I would love to have my own company, Suhas. Yeah, like if I didn't have 2 kids and a wife, if I didn't have 3 dependents, I would for sure still be running a gym and doing personal training and trying to build a business in that area. But it's just risky, man. When you got kids involved and you got a wife, you got people depending on you, you need health insurance, that sort of thing. It's just, entrepreneurship's very, very risky. So now I try to pursue it more as like a side hustle type thing, right? I'm trying to look for opportunities to do my own thing around having a W-2 job. Talua, error means you're trying to create a complex program. It's good. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna write code and you're gonna be a coder and a programmer, you definitely got to get comfortable with errors, huh? Unique UX. Education is so important. Like, big companies expect you to not only know your expertise, but to be able to teach it too. And you already have excellent communication skills. Okay, I'll stop advising or gaslighting, whatever. 69 commits. I promise I did not do that on purpose. I don't know how it landed on 69 commits, or 69 lines changed. It just worked out that way. Yeah, I mean, education is definitely important, and expertise, and the ability to communicate that, definitely all valuable skills. I agree. Toad Sage, out of curiosity, Steven, have you read Maglev, Google's load balancer? I was reading about LB and found the paper about it yesterday. I actually don't know about that. What did you say? Maglev load balancer? Maglev. I did not know this existed until you literally brought it up. So this is Maglev is Google's network load balancer. Interesting. So they have their own load balancer software, their own LB that they wrote and maintain. That's crazy. Which I guess, given their scale, they have very unique, right? A very unique use case. But that's cool. What did you take away from it, or do you have any interesting insights to share about it that you thought was pretty crazy? Yoip. How many directors do you have? Oh, how many directories do you have? I'm not sure what you mean, Yoip. Directories. Like folders in general on my machine? Is that what you're asking? Sogo, wow. How many lines have you changed now? I've changed 69 lines, Sogo. Unique UX. I can edit the video for free, Steven. I'll find the Discord. Oh, then that's no problem. I usually do. My videos are really low. They're very low value, low effort production. I usually just do like a one-shot take, start to finish, and I'll trim the start and trim the end and call it good. If I have to put any more effort into making a video than that at this stage of my life, with everything else I've got going on, the video will just never happen. It'll just be an idea, and it will never actually become a video. He's trolling us back. Yeah. You know what they say, fight fire with fire. Suhas, from I don't care, I know I'll become a millionaire, to I should get a job because I like this girl. Pretty much, Suhas. I mean, that's kind of... I mean, it's not as bleak as that sentence makes it seem, but yeah, when you take responsibility for others, that has to come first. I know some people in my life that don't necessarily believe in that, but that's my opinion. Providing financial stability and financial security has to come first beyond pursuing my dreams, whatever that means. Oh, very cool. Well, Toastage, if you do learn anything cool about that load balancer, let us know, man. Talua, I find that as video production quality increases, video content quality decreases. There may be exceptions. That's the general case. Oh, that's interesting. Kind of inverse. I'd rather watch a 20-minute speech by a quality guy than an edited 5-minute. Well, that's nice to know. I mean, I would love to be able to put like some more effort into editing, or being able to maybe provide better visuals of what I'm talking about in videos. It's just, like I said, like for every amount of effort, for every additional piece of effort I put in, that's going to add time. And then it's like, oh, when I'm going to find the time? And then it's like, oh, I wait for that time to be available, and then the time never comes, and then the video never gets made. So I've kind of resigned myself to like the whole Tim Ferriss idea of like, what would this look like if it was easy? And just for right now, where I am in life, just do that, Unique UX. I have 3 kids. Yep, exactly. So you understand. 100%. Another Taurus in the chat with some kiddos. Unique UX. I agree about the editing, but you also have to bring people in. You're right, Unique UX. And I think that's where I've kind of made my peace with it. I've made my peace with the fact that like the main reason I make content is just because I enjoy the act of creating. And so for me, it's much more important that I make creating sustainable and possible for where I am right now, because it's more about how it makes me feel and what it brings to me. And if other people enjoy it and other people get benefit from it, that's wonderful. And then I have to make peace with the fact that like the quality of what I make or what I create is the quality. And if people don't like it, or people don't, fuck with it, I just have to live with that, right? I appreciate that, Suas. It's very kind to offer help, man. Talua, let's make a nice AI editing program. Drag the video, wait 10 seconds, get your super edited video. That's funny you say that, Talua. I was actually, Saturday night, I went on a longer walk around my neighborhood, and I wanted to try out the Gemini live talking functionality. And so what I was doing was I was basically walking around the neighborhood and was like talking to Gemini about what are some good ideas for apps. And through that conversation, one of the ideas that I had was it was basically more about scratching my own itch, in the sense that like, I stream for hours, and then I want to be able to take clips from those hour-long videos and turn them into shorts. So I thought, there's probably a place in here for AI to do this work for me, where like we take the video and maybe you transcribe it, and then you ask the LLM to tell you like what are good pieces of content that we could extract from this, right? And then some, like Whisper, I think OpenAI's transcription model, I'm pretty sure it'll give you timestamps back with the transcriptions. So like you could ask the LLM, okay, given this transcription, tell me what timestamps would be good candidates for like shorts. That's as far as I've gotten with the idea, but it would be helpful to me, so maybe it would be helpful to other people. So why not use filters and morph your face into a robot or dog? I mean, I don't know. Do you think people? I don't know. That doesn't seem like. I don't know. That seems like my kids used to watch. What's the name? There's a Ryan's Toy Review. If you guys are familiar with like kids YouTube channels, he has a like mascot, like a panda mascot that they would make videos where that panda was just playing video games. So maybe there is a market for people who like write code as a capybara or something. I don't know. Unique UX. That's a great perspective. Yeah. You kind of have to make peace with you have to make peace with what level of effort you're willing to put in and what amount of time you're willing to commit to something, and not lie to yourself about the results you're getting. Hey, what's up, Azim? How are you doing, man? Good to see you again. Unique UX. I don't use AI for art. It's always systematic and reusable components that I use to build and drive narrative. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know if I would ever say I won't use AI for art, but because I found it very helpful for doing like generating images and going from like blank page to not blank page. But Talua, YouTube Kids scares me. It's just straight up horror. Yeah, I mean you definitely gotta be careful. Having a 7 and a 9-year-old, you definitely want to be up on the content controls and the content moderation features, which are they're very good. I mean, credit to YouTube and their engineers, right? They are really good. Sogo, but then the LLM would highlight your whole stream. No, it wouldn't. Sogo, you flatter me. Suas, basically ViewTubers. Yes, essentially, Suas, essentially. Can't stand Huggy Wuggy or Toilet Head Guy. Yeah, Huggy Wuggy's off limits in our house. Not allowed. Toad Sage, GPT's talking functionality is too good. I talk to her daily for practicing languages and argue some topics. Yeah, I haven't really played much with the voice modes on these apps. That was the first time I really gave it it was like a 20 or 30 minute conversation just spitballing with Gemini about like, what about this SaaS idea? What about this micro app idea? Like, it was just nice to have something to rubber duck with. It's kind of nice. Unique UX. You still have to put in extreme effort to build good products. The difference is with AI, we could do it with smaller teams. Let's see. I think on its face, I agree with that, unique UX. I think I'm still skeptical about how much efficiency or productivity gains AI provides when it comes to building products, because I think so much of the work of building products has so much more to do about like clarity about what you're building and identifying good product market fit, right? Like the coding and the implementation, it's super valuable, right? But I think anybody who's ever built something as part of a team knows that like half the battle is figuring out what to implement and making sure everyone's on the same page of how it should look and how it should function and what it should do. Which is another reason why I am very skeptical of AI replacing software engineers, because that's just not something LLMs do very well at the moment. Skibbity Toilet. I've not watched it. Better than the whole Marvel universe? Really? That's a pretty big claim, man. I mean, the Marvel universe is pretty baller. I mean, it's hard to beat the first Iron Man movie. Matt Pat? Matt Pat. He is the creator and former host of YouTube series Game Theory. Interesting. Combines video games with science and theory crafting. Interesting. Okay. I'll add him to the list. God, there's so many recommendations that come in. Skibbity Toilet. Interesting. Multiple recommendations for Skibbity Toilet. All right, real quick. Let me see if I can get this thing to query for records. Can you tell me what apps? No, can you tell me what fields are in the user's app? Let's see, allow for this chat. Alright. Okay, so let's have it query against the full name field. And let's say, okay, can you find me the record? Can you find me the record? Can you find me all the records in the user's app whose full name field is equal to Stephen Freeborn? See if it can figure out how to do this. So it's just basically going to look through all the records. Which is good, but I wanted it to use the query records tool. Can you look again but use the query records tool? Oh, have I not? Oh, I know what the problem is. I need to build the project. Okay, I'm an idiot. npm run build. There we go. Alright, let's try this again. Sorry guys, I'm gonna do this again. The stupid kids watching Skibbity Toilet probably don't even understand anything, but in fact, it's really beautiful. Okay, alright. I'll give it a try. You will like it or you will not like it. There is no in between. Nothing like some polarizing content, right? Let's move on. So Unique UX, sounds like you said you have 3 kids. So and you were born in 91. So we're kind of in the same little cohort here. I'm curious what your kids' age ranges are. Are you in the elementary school age? Are you further along in your parenting journey? I know that might not be interesting to everybody, but it's interesting to me as a fellow dad. I have to restart this too. Claude. 12, 6, and 3. Oh, dang. Dude, the delta there between 12 and 3, that's pretty insane. Even 6 and 3. That's pretty insane. What's middle school like? Has middle school been pretty crazy? I feel like I feel like middle school is like a whole different ball game. Remember that the first 20 minutes are silly. It gets better and better, but if you still don't like it at the first hour, don't watch the rest. I have nothing more to say. Fair enough. Okay. Well, I'm open to giving it a shot. I'm open to it. Okay. Let's see. Can you get me the fields in the users app? Yes, they learn drama. Older girls. Oh, yeah. I'm not. Okay. What? That you confirmed my concerns. All right. Let's say we'll use the same prompt that we did. We'll say, can you get me all the records in the users app whose username field, not username, full name field equals Stephen Freeborn. I just want to see if it can construct a filter properly. That's what I'm after here. Because that's what all this work I've done has been about. So let's see if it'll... Well, something broke. Invalid arguments. Okay, so it failed validation. And now it's going to fall back to the get records tool. Which isn't horrible. I mean, at the very least, we can page through all the records. But why did this fail? Invalid union. Expected object received string. I mean, this is a properly formed JSON representation of the object. So I guess I need to figure out how to coerce a string into that object. Is that what I need to do? Honestly, don't know. They are interested in the art of gossip. Youngest bites and scratches like a wild little troublemaker. Yeah, you've got the full spectrum, man. 12 to 3. You're all over the map. Talua. By the way, you just said that you would like to start a company, but your family can be an obstacle. I'm 18. Plan to marry an intelligent lady. That's awesome. We're currently studying university together. She is studying... Oh, molecular biology. Nice, dude. Yeah, I was a biochemistry major, so... I've definitely taken a molecular biology course. Cell biology course, too. But I'm also thinking about starting my own company. Do you think this is a personal problem, or can having a family be an obstacle to starting a company in general? Talua, I don't necessarily think it's a problem. I think it's very context specific, you know? So like in the context of like me and my family, you know, my wife, she works now part-time at the kid's school, but she was a stay-at-home mom, and that was something we both like wanted, which meant that economically the provider role was on me. which isn't to say that I don't think you can't be an entrepreneur and your wife be a stay-at-home mom. I just think for my risk tolerance, to me, it was like, I don't think I can take on trying to run a company or bootstrap a company and raise a young family. Somebody else might make a different decision. It sounds like your wife might be career oriented, or your future wife might be career oriented. So that would take a lot of the concern off you, right? So maybe she is the one that holds it down for you guys while you pursue your entrepreneurial interests. That could be definitely a way to make it work. So I definitely don't think it's I don't think what I said is like a hard and fast rule, right? There's tons of people who have young families and have built businesses and things like that. It's just for my predisposition and some of the goals that me and my wife had for our family, it was just different. Yeah, and what unique UX says, if you're good, you can do it all. Yeah, and I think that's for me, the way I look at it is like, you can definitely do it all. Maybe you can't do it all at once. I mean, maybe some people can. I'm also just super risk adverse. Like as an individual, like I do not want to ever have to deal with bankruptcy. If I took a lot of risks and got to be an old man and had no level of economic security or stability or any ability to provide for my sons for their economic future, I would be really disappointed. Versus the other way about it, which is kind of what I'm doing right now, where I'm saying I'm okay with deferring some of that entrepreneurial drive and pursuit if that means that the trade-off is I can build wealth through a W-2 job working for somebody else. And that's just a personal choice. There's not like a right or wrong answer. It's just a personal thing. Yeah, so I think Tolu, I don't think there's anything standing between you and having a family and building a business, and I would be totally rooting for you to do both. Unique UX. Do it. Use the force. Marry her. I don't do a good Senator Palpatine impersonation. Suhas, is it a love mirage? Are you saying it's a love mirage, or are you asking? Yeah, I mean, I don't think love is a mirage. I think it's a very real thing. You know, it's a very real, tangible thing. It's sometimes hard to express, but it's a very real thing. So I thought you were querying Steven, not Jason. No, it queried the. Oh, I So are you trolling me? I think he meant marriage. Oh, he was trying to say marriage. Okay, is it a love marriage? Is what you're asking, Suas? Suas, no. Is your marriage is love marriage? Oh, I think Suas, what you're basically asking is like, was it arranged or not? Right? Is that what you're trying to get at, Suas? Because some cultures have arranged marriages. Sogo Hotel. Hee. Jason. Is it? So this is a hotly debated thing, right? In coding circles, is it Jason or is it Jason? Right? Let's see. Jason versus Jason. How would you say that? Son. I don't know. Yes, Suhas. Yes. Yeah. So it is not an arranged marriage, Suhas. We met when I was 15 and she was 17. We are your classic high school sweethearts. 90% of his code was in the first 15 minutes of the stream. Let's make a graph. Yeah, I need to get it off the 69 lines change thing though, because that looks like a real troll. So we're gonna go down to the bottom of the file here, and we're just gonna add an empty line. Does that count as a line changed? Let's see. It should. Right? It should count as an insertion. Yeah, there we go. No more 69 lines changed. Unique US. Can we add a graph to the live stream that shows distribution? Man, you guys are really pushing me here. So, yep. All right, man. Be safe getting your groceries. Or is it GIF or GIF? I always say GIF. I also always say SQL. No, I think I say SQL most of the time. SQL is what I refer to it as. Your total G's code graph is perfect. Man, you guys are really pushing the requirements here. Isn't done good enough? Okay, we have some text on the screen. We don't need to go making visuals. Uh-oh. I might be running out of steam here. That's a big yawn. I actually, guys, I'm a little bit like I don't know what to do to fix why this isn't working. So it seems like my schema is communicating to the LLM what I want, but the LLM is generating it as a string, and I'm not 100% certain why it's doing that. Because like this is like a valid JSON object right here. You know, this whole thing isn't a JSON string. So I don't know why it decided. Let's see. Let's see if I can coax it into doing it. Let's say, can you try the query records approach again? But the filter should be a valid JSON object, not a stringified version of that object. See if I can coax it into doing that. Nope, it still turned it into a string. Huh. So maybe it's just up to me to take it as a string and parse it with that schema, maybe? See you, Sogo. Have a good day, man. When you write a new line, fire pops up on the screen. Fair enough. I can make it follow the user's gaze, lol. 3D live stream metrics with sleek UI are the future, Steven. We need you. You probably won't end up with anything sleek. It'll just be like ASCII. It'll be like ASCII, an ASCII graph. That'll be what ends up on the screen. Oh man, yeah, the jump counters. Have you guys seen the TikTok live streams where it's like it'll be like 4 creators in a stream and they're like competing for like I think it's like competing for like hearts or gifts and they're like racing each other. Have you guys seen that? I have no idea what's going on when I click into one of those. I have no idea what's happening there. But it's like some sort of live stream competition between creators. I have no idea. All right. I think what's going to happen here is we're going to say yeah, that's not going to work. Zod.dev. I need to read some Zod documentation. Custom schemas. If you don't provide a validation function, Zod will allow any value. This can be dangerous. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna try. Like at this point, I don't know like what I can't lose anything. So if I say z.string and then say transform, do something like that. Can this not just parse from a string value? Gotta restart Claude Desktop. I don't know if I'm doing this right. So you think about, well, use AI to reply to live TikTok shops. What's a simple stack for learning back end? Simple stack would be just like probably JavaScript and look at Hano. Look at Hano.dev. I mean, it's got great docs. It's got great support for asynchronous programming. Super straightforward. Lots of stuff built out of the box comes with it. They've got tons of different middleware. You can build APIs. You can build server-side rendered apps. They've got integrations, I think, for using front-end frameworks and using client-side components as well as server-side components. So I'd probably look at Hano.dev, assuming you're familiar with JavaScript and TypeScript. Might be a good place for you to start. Can you get me all the records in the users app whose full name field equals Steven? Let's see if it'll just automatically use that query records. Here we go. Allow for this chat. Well, the filter's completely wrong. Yeah, which I think makes sense because the filter's wrong because it's seeing a string is what it's being passed now. So that's not going to work. That was a bad idea. This was a bad idea. Oops. Let's see if anybody else has had this problem. MCP server, Zod, complex, schema, complex tool, schema. I tell you what, searching is such a skill when it comes to coding and programming. Being able to search for things effectively is such an asset. Let's see. Schema. Happy birthday, brother. I appreciate that, man. That's very nice. Unique UX. I know, like Netlify, Superfly. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, I think Hondo.dev would be interesting for you to start with if you want to write it back in. Obviously, there's good old Express. You know, you can always go back to Express. But I just feel like if you're doing something new, why not start with the more modern framework? And Hondo.dev seems to be that more modern framework. Tallulah, please check your Discord DMs. Okay. I will be happy to hop in there. Let's see. It says watch this in stream. Okay. Let me see if I can make this full screen real quick. Can I make this full screen, but... Oh, here, I'll just download it. Here we go. This is a POC from Tallulah of how we could do line. We're not only going to count my lines, but now we're going to actually track the lines, how they're changing over time. Looks like we're using some sort of Python library to build us a little plot. Yeah, so we have to build. So we create a plot like that. So line count over time. Interesting. So I'd have to think about how I'd want to display that in the stream. That's very cool. I'd want it to be like an overlay though, right? Like I don't want it to just be a big big white box. So I'd have to think about how to style it in such a way that the line kind of appears. Yeah, that'd be cool though. I definitely see the value in that. So you guys can laugh at me by saying, "Okay, yeah, you wrote 70 lines of code, but you wrote that all in a 10-minute span, and then you did nothing the rest of the stream." I see what you guys are after. Just want to give me a hard time. Thanks for putting that together, Tallulah. That's really cool. Sogo, do you use Stack Overflow? I don't use Stack Overflow other than if Google takes me there, Sogo, honestly. The Stack Overflow community does not really, I don't know, it's not my community. I don't think they're very kind. They always seem very hung up on like they're very hung up in like the way the question is phrased and the way the question is asked. But like Google will oftentimes take me to a Stack Overflow answer. So I definitely use Stack Overflow for getting answers. I just don't use it to ask questions very much. To make it semi-transparent, throw it into your camera. We can put up a lines per minute percentage. 0.005%. Yes, I'm very productive. Okay, I get it, guys. I hear you. What you're saying is write more code. I hear you. Unique UX. Cut that into a short. Yeah. For sure. Lines per minute. Yeah, lines per minute. That's the metric by which I'll be judged. So then the aim will be for me to make the stream shorter and shorter and shorter. Write a lot of code and then end it very quickly. I'm at a point though where I'm kind of stuck at the moment with this. I'm not sure what to do. I thought this would work, and it sort of kind of works, but for whatever reason, the LLM doesn't want to generate me like a well-formed filter. It wants to generate a string of text. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of Google fooing, I think, off stream to figure this one out. I actually talked to I was talking to a colleague and I said, we were talking about some work thing, and I was like, man, that sounds like something out of a dystopian future where our bosses are all just AI overlords. You put in a PTO request and the AI says, your request for time off does not align with the instructions provided in my custom instructions.md file, so I deny your PTO request. Sounds very horrible. Yeah, I just saw what you posted. 40 lines of code to 40 lines of code to add two numbers together. I mean, come on, right? Like, you gotta do what you gotta do. All right, so I built that. Now I can reopen Claude, and so basically, I should be back to my original problem here, which is if I try to have it do this stuff in a one-shot prompt, it's not gonna work. kind of wonder if it has something to do with the way the schema is being built that's tripping it up. Because this is 100% correct. This is what I'd want the filter to look like. I just don't want it to be a string. Man, this will suck if I spend all this time writing this tool and I can't get it to work and I just have to ditch it. The people watching the stream are more productive than the streamer. Yes, this is an accurate statement. 2 hours of stream, hell yeah, two hours. We're almost there. That's probably going to be where I probably wrap it up though. I'm supposed to be coding right now and I'm eating combos. Hey, you know, it's your free time, you know? You use your free time how you want to use it, you know? Productivity's overrated. You guys ever read Cal Newport wrote a book called Slow Productivity? I'm all about the slow productivity, as you can tell. Everyone is productive if everyone is having fun. This is a good point. There's no other reason to do this if we're not going to enjoy it. That's like somebody asked me the other day about getting burnt out, you know? And I told them, like, well, when it comes to making content or writing code in my free time, I don't get burnt out because if I don't want to do it, I just don't do it. Burnout is a side effect from having to do things that you'd rather not do. Productivity is overrated. I spend half my day customizing my computer. It's funny. That's actually one of the reasons I was so nervous about ever trying to give NeoVim any amount of effort, was because I was really I was basically like really nervous about wasting tons and tons of time just obsessing over configuring NeoVim and never actually writing any code. That was one of my biggest concerns. And that concern was like halfway realized. Like I did spend a lot of time configuring it, but now that I've have it kind of configured to what I want, I'm semi-productive. I'm probably 75% as productive as I was in VS Code, or maybe 85, you know. Would you rather drive your own car or someone else's? That's what I think. Let me drive my own car. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you there 100%. Totally get that. Totally get that. I wonder... Like, I wonder, let me try this. Just to kind of like start, this is how I debug stuff that I don't understand. I just start running tests to try to see if I can understand the behavior. So before I call it quits for the evening, let me try this one thing. If I was to export this, and I was to go to my server, and instead of filter schema, I was to say rule schema, like this. That's a much simpler object. and I was to do npm, I'll just npm run dev because I'm tired of. Let's see, and I was to close that. I was to quit this. Let's see what would happen here. Okay, that worked. Right? It gave me a well-structured object. This is exactly what I want, right? So there's something about the way that filter schema is defined that's tripping it up. But I'm not exactly sure what. It's got to be something about the way that schema is transformed under the hood and how it's passed to the client. Wonder if it's like all the recursive and the lazy. I wonder if it's a combination of all that. Unique UX, where's the coffee? This is clickbait. Well, there was coffee, and then it got drank. And I'm not going to get a refill because if I drink another one of these, I will not be asleep before 3 a.m. Coffee is the friendship we made along the way. Let's see, all good. I'm not particularly interested. Docs to all 6 people. I'm actually an AI. Oh no, shit! Now we're specifying our longitude and our lats. I don't know, man. The internet's a weird place, dude. You got to be careful with that. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. What if I do this? The constructor of the discriminated unit, its behavior is very similar to that of the normal. However, it only allows a union of objects, all of which need to share a discriminator property. Well, that's much more of what I'm doing. The name of the discriminator property, an array of object schemas. That's going to be type. Let's see. How is this used? Does this have a search function? Let's see. There we go. Discriminated unions. Okay, so I feel like this should work. Oh, I bet it's because of the lazy call that I can't do that. Huh. I'm kind of stumped here. I think I might need to sleep on this one because I do not have any answers. Unique UX, delete the stream. Yeah. This was a good stream though. It was much more low key than last night. Last night there was a lot of people bumping here. I'm glad we got to try out our line counter. The line counter works, but apparently I need to figure out how to display a graph. You guys keep raising the ante. I honestly, to be fully transparent with you guys, I don't know how much work I'll put into displaying a graph. I like the idea. I just don't know how much effort I'll put into it. Alex, how long have you been streaming? I've been live for a couple hours now, Alex. Or maybe you're asking how long that I've like been making content. Just since like January. I started with I started streaming myself doing Advent of Code in December, but that was more of just like that was more for myself than anybody else. And then I started making content like this like January or end of January maybe. It was good. It's been good though. It's been fun. Unique, you actually must code. Yeah, at this point I'm at that point. I'm at that point of a problem where it's like I'm gonna have to dissect this, and I need to think on it, and I need to do some Google foo, and I'm not interested in staying up till 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. to solve it. I'll come back to it. Alright guys, I'm gonna head to bed, or at least I'm gonna jump off here and start making my way to bed. Talua, should I commit to the project in my free time? Will you accept pull requests if you look at it and like it? Or do you want it to be a project that only you develop? It's like having a child. You're welcome. Yeah, I mean, you're welcome to work on any project in your free time. Happy to accept contributions. Great to hear. I saw you earlier today. Oh, very cool, Alex. Well, thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate you stopping in, saying hi, contributing. If you see me live again, obviously you're always welcome back. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me this evening. I'm going to jump. Tomorrow we'll likely return to my normal stream schedule, so I'll probably be live. I'm going to shoot to be live at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Obviously, if meetings or work stuff comes up, that may shift around, but I'll always post in Discord when I go live. So if you want to be notified, you can join the Discord, or obviously you can use YouTube notifications too if you're interested. All right, y'all. Have a good day. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.